present this in a different accent or something? Just a little more.
So tired.
Stand on that side of the room. No, just kidding.
Wow.
Awesome. All right, so we're going to speak about the William L. Mayo Prestigious Speaker Series as we go into FY18. Really the purpose of the speaker series is to bring high caliber speakers to the university, bring a diverse range of perspectives to the campus. They'll speak to our campus community to inform, enlighten, and entertain our students. And really, we select speakers that are very recognizable, as well as those that are well-spoken, so those that have spoken in public before. This started in the spring of started prior to that, but our first speaker was within the spring of 2012. And it was really a charge that was led by our former president that really wanted to provide some sort of speaker series to our campus, kind of to the equivalent of what SMU has as the Tate Lecture Series. The first 2 years we did one speaker a year just to try to get our bearings right with it, but then since then we've been able to do 2 speakers a year since that, so we've had about 9 speakers. As we tie into our mission, again, we thrive ourselves in providing what are those unique experiences and how are our purposeful programming as it relates to being able to be free for our students. We also bring in speakers that provide a wide variety of perspectives to help students develop becoming what it means to be global citizens. So oftentimes we are in this bubble of being in commerce or being in Texas, but really offering those perspectives as it relates to not only the country, but then in the global world. The components of the speaker series, again, I have been reiterated, we love to have the involvement piece as a part of our experiences. So you've got the programmatic piece, but one of the things that we focus on is the committee involvement. And this is comprised of students, staff, and faculty. And there's a really unique experience with this because students get to interact with staff and faculty that might be, in a different manner. So maybe that's a former professor that they get to then see in a different light and have these really cool conversations. We spend a lot of time talking about themes. So maybe it's something that's trending amongst campus community, or maybe it's something that we want to focus on nationally or globally, and looking at themes that we want to focus on for those years. The speaker event, like I said, we do 2 per year. And we took at the experiences. So we try to offer out whenever we send out an offer to an agency, we try to put the full spectrum. So we try to offer an opportunity for the speaker to engage with our students. It's maybe a small selected group of students with a student leader dinner. We also then do the formal program, which is typically in Ferguson, with a Q&A selected with that. And then we try to also ask for a meet and greet reception after that. Maybe that's with some of our university administrators as well as a few other students as well. I really like the different components that we have for these experiences. We shoot for the moon with this and hope that that's what we have. We never try to do anything with just the formal program as it relates to that, because there's lots of learning. Students get to network with somebody in the manner that we have the dinners set up. They're asking questions. They're able to engage with the speaker in a more informal manner. Past themes that we've had, looking at finding purpose. We celebrated our 50th anniversary of integration on our campus. Looking at the value of education, inclusion, self-acceptance, and then also the option of potentially doing the right thing as it relates to bystander intervention. We requested 70,000, so I kind of broke it down in terms of the experiences as it relates to honorariums. This would be combining both of the speakers, so not just one off for each speaker. Again, our experiences, what that would combine, and that would take into consideration, and then the marketing for each of those. I averaged the amount of honorariums that we spent over those 9 speakers, and this was the average amount that we had. We did about $40,000, around $40,000. But again, we've done stuff that's less and more. But this was the average. And about this year, we're at $67,000. We still have a few more expenses that we are incurring as it relates to our last speaker, John Quinones, that will probably put us right at the 70 mark. If we were to cut, it would limit the caliber of speakers that we could bring to our campus, so we'd have to go into a different range. And then currently, as we're working on our scale of things that we do, we've looked at ways to cut costs. So this year we didn't print out physical tickets because we have tickets and we have programs, and that was kind of a little bit of overmuch. So trying to figure out ways that we can kind of cut costs within our experiences as well.
Questions for DP about the speaker series?
Yes, well.
When you say if you would have to limit the caliber of speakers, could you expound on that in terms of how caliber is defined, and I guess if you're going to gauge it in terms of a downgrade, what that would look like?
So we have typically spent for the past couple of years probably 40 on a speaker or around 24,000 on a speaker. So that's kind of the caliber, so kind of in the 30 range is what we're looking at. And when we go into an honorarium, we always go into this is as exclusive as we possibly can be. We don't want to play around with taking care of their transportation and their travel accommodations and all those pieces. So we typically are looking at 30-ish thousand, if not a little bit, kind of between that 25 and 30, depending on if there's a speaker that we like that's a little bit more, maybe then the second speaker ends up balancing out in terms of maybe a lower honorarium.
So it's a caliber based on honorarium, not based on, I guess, prestige or awareness across the nation per se.
Probably, yeah. I mean, most of the folks that we put onto our list of individuals, we want to make sure that they are well known. So we go into talking with our agents thematically, specifically at first, saying, hey, this is the theme that we're looking for. What kind of speakers do you have within maybe, we kind of look at a low range, maybe a 25,000 range. And then they kind of bring us a list of them, and then some of them might be a little bit more, some of them might be a little less. And so we start looking at, would these be well-known individuals? Would these be people that students would want to come to if they saw the name, and those types of things. We have a lot of those conversations, and one of the things I think success story out of those conversations about the committee experience that I want to say is that Ruby Bridges came out of that. We didn't really know if students would know about Ruby Bridges, but recognizing that a lot of the students that did their primary education in the state of Texas learned about who Ruby Bridges was, and so that was a true part of that experience. And so looking at the conversations of how well known would they be, while also looking at generating ideas of who we can outreach to on campus. So are there organizations that this topic might be something that this organization would benefit from? Is there an academic program that this hearing about the speaker, hearing the speaker would benefit from as well? So we try to take in all of that factors as we then decide on who the speakers are.
I was going to say, how do you determine your theme?
We talk about it. Yep, there's a committee. Faculty, staff, and students. The students get nominated and they stay on for as long as they're able to.
Okay.
So we have some students, we like to bring in a couple of new students a year and then offer some new faculty members as well. And so a lot of it's a lot of time-consuming conversations. So what are we seeing that are trending within our campus community? What's maybe going a little bit bigger than that?
Is it a diverse committee?
Mm-hmm. We got
Academically diverse?
Hmm?
Academically diverse?
I believe so. Yeah. I mean, there's always room for improvement, I think, in terms of bringing people in. And again, as your year progresses, you might have some folks that have fallen off. But there are some academic areas that I would love to kind of connect.
Could we request some of these high-profile speakers to tweet or Instagram or something while they're here?
Yeah, some of them have. Many of them, we use Twitter. That's an area that I'd like to spruce up a little bit more as to the typing of them prior to. That would be really exciting if we could. Yeah, we had Laverne Cox when she came in February. She did a post one, so she said, I'm really thankful for everything, and that was huge for a lot of us in terms of Instagram. Yeah. John Quinones posted, I think we tweeted about it, the university tweeted about it through our Instagram page, and he was like, I'm so excited to be in Texas, because he's from Texas, and his wife is from the Dallas area, so yeah, that we've gotten, not as much, but we've gotten definitely the appreciation on the back end of things. So that would be nice.
We'll pay you $25,000.
Yeah.
If you throw in a tweet.
Yes.
Right.
Just a tweet.
You just need one TNC going.
Yeah, hashtag TNC.
Hashtags.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could you, I'm not sure if you know this information, but for what is the honorarium that you pick for the highest speaker? And then like the lowest honorarium?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was probably like, he was pretty close to almost $100,000 again, rather. And then we paid probably,
And then Will Horton pay us.
Yeah. Probably about the 20,000 was probably our lowest.
What was the next one?
Probably close to 100 with Dan Rather. And that was the first year.
So what's the highest regular students who come to SSF?
It was between Dan Rather and Laverne, and they were fighting it out with each other, so we were looking at 700, 800.
Any more questions for DP and Phil? Okay,
So, thematically, year to year, do y'all tend to cycle? So you mentioned like, you brought in Dan Rather, I think that was back in 2012. Obviously, Dan Rather is not the same as Laverne Cox or John Quinones, or even other speakers we've seen in previous years. So is there a balance, I guess, between pop culture or cultural value and then something more related to like hardcore news or dignitary status, you know, if that
Yeah,
makes sense?
absolutely. Those are all of our the conversations that we have. 100%. You know, is it? I mean, the year after Dan Rather, we brought a couple of journalists onto like our short list, and we were like, well, we just had a journalist. Like, what else can we appeal to? So then we brought in the Olympian panel, and so really trying to spruce it up. And then we brought in the Ben and Jerry aspects, so the entrepreneurial, you know, pieces of it. So we really try to sit in, you know, any of our top 3 or 4 speakers that we're really excited about. Who are the individuals? We really sit and think about those outreach opportunities as it relates to academic departments as well as organizations. But then, what are we representing? What is looking at what we've put out there in the past few years? You know, demographically, topically. You know, people that can relate to these individuals. Absolutely, that's a part.
Or what students are asking for. I mean, in a number of student forums, you've had students request, you know, Bill Gates and, you know, and we said, yeah, we could do one over the next 10 years by bringing them in. And that would be it.
Unless we have a Microsoft tie.
So I do have a question. I mean, if you had to cut, and I mean, I really enjoyed the speaker series. Ruby Bridges was a really big thing to me, like, in that I thought she was going to be a younger, but she's like this like woman, and it
She
was.
doesn't say like that little child.
Yeah, and it has taught me different things. But if you had to lessen expenses, where would you try to focus? I know that if you didn't focus on speakers, would you cut the meeting too?
Probably not, honestly, because I think when we talk about those experiences, we want more of the interacting experiences and those opportunities. We've had a couple of speakers that we just said, okay, this is, I mean, again, I put the wish list out there when I offer. I want, you know, a dinner with the students, the formal program, and then a meet and greet. And if they say that they can't do either, well, that's something we really want to commit to, is to provide an opportunity for all of our students to apply. Obviously, we can't do everybody, but there is an experience that a select group of students could have. So about 25 to 30 students. Each of our events get to have that meet and greet, more informal program. And they have to really sit down and talk up and articulate about why this experience would be important to them. You know, and then a question can be tied to a topic. So for John Quinones, we asked, talk us through a time where you had to do the right thing, because a lot of his conversations is, you know, based off of his TV show. So really being able to hear some of those stories and have those conversations, be able to see the students process that's something that's really true to us. And so I think we would have to look at what the speaker caliber would be, but also being able to do a better job in terms of getting the word out. If it's not a speaker that's well known, what are those things that we really appreciate and value why this is really important to our campus? So how do we outreach a little bit more? That's when we have to be a little bit more targeted to those departments and those student organizations to invite them to come out to those experiences. Because it's oftentimes hard to sell a speaker, so we learned that people don't know the name.
Last question.
Okay. So, is there any way that you have surveyed or polled to see if your message is truly getting across to the students from bringing in the speaker series?
We have not at this moment, but that's actually something that I'd like to do. We were talking, one of the things, it's trying to get the logistical piece together, but really on the back of the survey piece, it's just getting a little bit more feedback. We've been able to talk to the select group of students and be able to hone in on their experience, and many of them, you know, had admired a lot of the individuals, had gotten inspiration from their messages, outside of like kind of the hearsay. So that's something we want to target as we go forward, is how can we get more of that quantifiable information as well. That, I mean, just based off of impact to students, being able to feel comfortable with who they are after Laverne Cox was really incredible, just to kind of see just the importance that they had of being true to themselves and who they are. And so some of that has been more of what we've been able to get, but we're looking to get more of that.
We're out of time.
Alright.
Thank you very much.
Times 3.